Rising star America Ferrera is perhaps best known for her character on the TV show Ugly Betty, but now America is returning to the big screen for the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2. She's with us here this morning in the studio. Good morning, America.
Good morning.
Girls all back together for the Sisterhood 2.
We are.
And watching it was pretty obvious that it wasn't the first time you had worked together. It seemed like there was a real bond there.
Yeah, you know, we didn't know each other at all, the four of us, before we made the first film. And when the first one was done, we had no idea whether there was going to be a sequel or, you know, what was going to happen in the future. But we did kind of create this bond very early on. And so we stayed friends in the in-between time between the two films. And when the second movie came around, it was like, great, they want to take us to Greece and you know, put us up, and we get to work and be together, so it was a good time.
In the in-between time, you have all become successful in your own ways. Mm-hmm. Did that change the dynamic on the set at all?
No, absolutely not. Not at all. I mean, the other thing is that we've been there for each other through the changes in our careers, you know,
you really are friends.
Yeah, we really are, and thankfully, you know, Amber and Alexis had both been through this very unique experience of being on a television show and kind of being the title character and knowing what that life and that schedule is like. So I really leaned on them for a lot of support my first year in Betty, and then Blake started with Gossip Girl, and then the three of us were like her mother, saying, this is what you have to expect, this is what you have to do, get someone now to help you do these things. And so we've stayed in touch, and we really are you know, as close as you can be when you've got crazy schedules.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Your character in this movie learns an important lesson in self-esteem, that you're the only one who can bring yourself down. And in Betty,
right.
She deals with that too, because she manages to stay confident even though she's different. Is that an important thing for you?
I think it's in ways that, you know, a very general lesson, but the characters are so different because Betty doesn't let anything get to her. And for Carmen, she, especially, you know, in the first movie and in this movie, she leans on her friends very heavily.
Do you or did you ever struggle with self-esteem yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think that anyone who hasn't is a miracle.
But you're trying to break into this business, and, you know, you didn't necessarily look like everyone else in Hollywood. Was that ever an issue for you?
You know, I don't think that any of my self-esteem issues really started with anything to do with my career. I think it started when you're, you know, wanting to fit in with the cool kids in second grade. You know, I think that's where it all begins. And, you know, when I went away to college, I had a very similar experience to Carmen, and I could really relate to going away and being away from everything that's familiar. And I was outgoing and made friends easily and thought college would be a breeze, I'll fit right in, it'll be fine. And then I got there, and the first year was really difficult because, you know, nothing's familiar.
On your show, every week you are Latina, you portray a Latina who shows us her Hispanic family and their culture. Mm-hmm. Is it important for you to highlight your heritage on such a big stage?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's important is that there continue to be diverse representations of what it means to be Latina, because, you know, growing up, I saw representations of Latino culture, but nothing that I related to. And I don't think that there is one experience that can say this is what it means to be Latina in this country. I think that there are so many experiences, and Betty's experience and Betty's family is only one representation of it.
So what do you want to do next? Is there any role that you'd love to sink your teeth into?
You know, I've actually been itching to, with all these summer blockbuster films, I really want to do like an action film. I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe be a superhero, but they all look so exciting, like Batman, you know, Batman and Iron Man and all these exciting hero films. I'm like, I want to be a superhero, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Well, you're already Superwoman.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2 is now showing in theaters nationwide.